Hey guys, today on the Tone Journey, we're going to take a look at the EWS Eric Gale Signature Brute Drive. Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the EWS Brute Drive, Eric Gale's signature pedal. It's got Eric Gale's signature real big on it. This one actually happens to have two because it's got Eric's signature as well. This is a pedal that I got from a friend of mine that had Eric sign it for him. So, but anyway, so the track that you just heard was using this through a Marshall style amp with some distortion on it already, and these were the settings that I had on the pedal exactly. And going to give you a short description of kind of what the pedal does. A couple key points about the pedal. Number one, it's true bypass, which is always awesome. If you don't know what that means, basically what that means is that when the pedal is off, it doesn't change your tone at all. It sounds exactly like your guitar was plugged into the amp straight. So that's always an important key point to me. It's got three simple controls on it. It's got volume, it's got gain, and it's got tone. And we'll get to those in a minute. I'll talk a little bit about those in detail. A couple other neat points. Number one, it's a very small, compact enclosure, which is always great because it's going to not take up too much real estate on your pedal board, or if you're throwing it in a backpack or bag or something to take to a gig, it's also going to be compact for that, which is always nice. It's got a power adapter plug on it, which is always important if you don't like using batteries, and it's got indicator lights, which is always important too, by the switches. It's a super sturdy aluminum enclosure. It's not plastic or anything like that, so it's going to take a lot of abuse and be good for you on the road or in the studio or banging around the garage, wherever you're going to be with it. Let me talk a little bit about the controls, and then I'm going to do some real quick demonstrations for you, both with a Fender style amp and with a Marshall style amp, just to give you an idea of the range of the pedal. First of all, let me talk about the volume. The pedal has a very good range of volume. It can really boost your guitar signal a lot, significantly. So if you've got weak pickups, that's really helpful. I tend to, on my Strats, I tend to run very passive, low output pickups, so that's always good to have for me. On the gain side of things, it's got a very usable gain. It is when you have it off, and I'll demonstrate this, but when you have it all the way down, it's almost like you don't even have the pedal on, really. It's very, very subtle. So you can go from hardly any gain to, you know, having something that on the top end, it's kind of hard to describe. I don't want to call it a fuzz. It's not a fuzz, but it gets a little bit of a woolly character to it. So it doesn't sound like it's just an overdrive. It's got a little bit more character than that to it. And again, I'll demonstrate that for you in a second. And then the tone is fantastic as well. Just so you know, kind of an idea of the general character of the pedal, it doesn't have a tube screamer-ish type sound. It doesn't have that big mid hump that a tube screamer has. Some people love it, some people hate it. Me personally, I like the mid hump to an extent, but sometimes I feel like I'm fighting it. So it's nice to have a pedal sometimes where you don't have a very pronounced mid-range, especially if you're playing through an amp that already has a lot of mid-range to it. So the tone pot that's on here, that my guess is, I don't know this, but it's probably an active tone pot, I would assume, because of the way that it sounds. And but you really can get a wide change in the tonal character of the pedal by using that. So definitely play with that that adjustment a lot, depending on the guitar that you're using and depending on the amp that you're using. It's really going to probably be one of the main things that's going to determine whether this pedal sounds good with your rig or not, that adjustment. So make sure to play around with that. The pedal also features a mid boost, which basically is a boost to the 320 hertz frequency range. It's factory set where it will give you a boost of 5 dB. And there's also an internal pot that you can adjust if you want to increase it up to 10 dB. You just open up the back and get a screwdriver, and you can adjust the little trim pot on the inside on the PCB board, and that'll help you change that setting. But that's really good if you have a guitar solo and you want to just have it, the perceived volume of that come up from the mids being increased. It's a great way to do that. It's not going to push the overall volume of the pedal, but it's going to increase the perceived volume of those mids coming forward. So anyway, that's another really cool feature. All right, one more thing, because I know somebody's going to ask it. Does the standard Brute Drive sound exactly like the Airgale Signature Brute Drive? I don't have one to compare them, but I can tell you from what I understand, they're exactly the same pedal. I believe that it's only a cosmetic difference between the two. All right, so enough talking, and let me play some real quick tones for you on Fender and Marshall style amps. So I'm going to start demonstrating some tones to you from the pedal. First, I'm going to be going through a Marshall style amp. I got the gain turned way down on the amp. This is what it sounds like, single coil pickups. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on the pedal. So you can see there, I have the tone is turned basically right up to noon. And I've got the gain set to about 9 o'clock. And with that amount of gain, it almost sounds like there's really no gain whatsoever coming out of the pedal, which I think is great. So again, that's with, this is without. You know, you could even back it down further. This is with the gain all the way down. Again with the pedal off. So that's great. I don't think you could ask for any better than that. And let me go ahead and turn it back on. Again, we're at about 9 o'clock on the gain. We're going to start creeping up. So a real nice, smooth distortion sound. Let's go ahead and go up to noon with it. All right, let's go up a little bit more. We're at somewhere around 2 o'clock. Real nice tone. We'll go over here. All right, and now we're going to just max out the gain. All right. Let me go ahead and show you the difference that the tone makes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the gain, let's say about here, and I'm going to roll the tone all the way down. It sounds like this. Put it back up again to about noon. Let's turn it all the way clockwise. It's real nice because with single coils, even being here over on the rhythm pickup, on the neck pickup, with the treble all the way cranked, it sounds nice. Now, one thing that's real interesting about this pedal, and I notice it's more prevalent with the Marshall style amp than the Fender style amp, but as you crank the gain up, you're going to notice on this particular pedal that there's a lot more low mids and bass that is introduced. So especially more prevalent when you're using more gain on the Marshall. I'm going to go ahead and max out the gain. So in those cases where you're using more gain like that, you might want to add a little bit more treble to it. It's just going to help you cut through a lot more. And if you're up here on the bridge, all right, so next I'm going to grab my Les Paul. I'm going to play through the same setup with humbuckers real quick, and then we'll switch over to the Fender amp. All right, so now I got the old trusty Les Paul ready to fire up, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's go ahead and start off with the amp by itself. We're going to go ahead, put the pedal on. quite a bit brighter. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the tone down a little bit. Let's go ahead and increase the gain a little bit. Alright, a little bit more. Alright, we got the gain max. Alright, so we're back. I have got the guitar connected to the pedal and a Fender style amp now, and we're going to go ahead and just run through some tones. Let me go ahead and give you the basic tone. Sound of the amp. So that's it by itself. Let me go ahead and demonstrate one thing to you here. We're talking earlier about the fact that you can run this pedal with hardly any gain on it, and it sounds so much almost just like the amp by itself. Let me go ahead and play just, this is the amp by itself. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to switch on the pedal. Now this is with the gain all the way down. Let me go ahead and turn it up a little bit. You can see how there's really no crazy change to the sound when the gain's low like that, and I love that. So real nice, you know. Let's go ahead and add a little more gain. Go up a little bit more. Now we'll max out the gain. again with it off. It does almost have like a fuzz sound to it a little bit, which I think is really cool. And again, this is with the Strat with pickups that don't have a lot of output, so I can crank up the volume a little bit more. Now it's going to get a lot louder. One thing you'll notice, like I said earlier, the Marshall, it tends to get a lot more bassy when you turn up the gain. And on the Fender style amp, you know, with the gain all the way up like this, it doesn't really gain a lot of bass. See, I don't really have to brighten it up. I can pretty much leave the EQ the same. So let me go ahead and I'm going to switch guitars real quick. Grab the Les Paul. We'll play through the Fender style amp real quick. And then I will show you the mid boost. All right, so we got the Les Paul out. So that's the amp by itself. Let me go ahead and turn on the pedal. Alright, so we got the gain pretty low. Let's go ahead and creep up on it a little bit. Up a little bit more. A little bit more. What the heck, let's max it. Back it down a little bit more. Oh, one more thing. The mid boost. don't know if you can hear that, but if it's coming through the computer. But anyway, basically, there's this mid-range boost that kind of comes in there, and it just fills the mids up, and it just feels a little more present. With it on, with it off. With it on again. Alright, so this has been my review of the Eric Gale Signature EWS Brute Drive. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's been informative. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, maybe even tell a friend, and share it on social media if you like. Also, go to our website, thetonejourney.com, where you can sign up, put your email address in, and be informed of new videos that we got coming out. And we've also got some cool things coming up. We have some free gear, some free pedals, and things that are going to be coming out, and we'll make you eligible to win some of those. So we're always giving away free stuff. Anyway, thanks so much. Appreciate your support. Have fun chasing tone.